Hello everyone, welcome to my class. To continue with the second theme of class 11th history, that is writing and the city life, in this video I'll be discussing about urbanization in southern Mesopotamia, and we'll talk about the temples and the kings. Now, as I told you earlier also, that the city life first developed in the southern region of Mesopotamia. It was quite rich in agricultural productivity. From 5000 BCE, settlements started developing in the southern Mesopotamian region, and these settlements were of various kinds, like the imperial cities, like the trading cities, and the temple cities. Out of these, the temple cities were of great prominence. Now, talking about the temple cities, temples were dedicated to various gods and goddesses, like moon god of Ur. Ur is a city of Mesopotamia. Inanna, the goddess of love and war, means every city was having their own gods or goddesses, and usually one big temple is dedicated to these gods and goddesses. Now, these temples were having a peculiar feature, that these temples always had their outer walls, right? And these outer walls was used for going in and out at regular intervals. And this kind of feature was not seen in any other buildings. So it was a peculiar feature of these temples. They have this firm belief that the gods were their owners of agricultural fields, so they offer their agricultural produce to the gods in temples. Various activities were also held in temple premises. Different kind of craft production was done: grinding of grain, spinning, weaving of clothes. These kind of activities were done in temple premises. So it was a center of various activities, these temples. Now, talking about the agriculture, it was a prominent activities of the people there. And in spite of the natural fertility, agriculture was subject to natural hazards also, like the Euphrates, the rivers and their channels. Many times they bring too much water in one year and leading to floods. Sometimes these rivers or their channels change their courses. There are archaeological records which shows that people often relocated their settlements from one place to another. They faced problem. There were man-made problems also. Those who lived on the upstreams, they stretched the upstream. They used to divert so much water into their field that the villages downstreams were left without water, or they could neglect to clean out the silt, their stretches of the channel. Means whatever the silt deposition was done on upstreams, they neglect to clean the silt. So it leads to the blocking of flow of water further down. So many times the downstream people, the villages, they and the upstream people, those who are living on the upstream region of the river, they often came to in a conflicting situation. They fight amongst each other. So in early Mesopotamia, countryside saw repeated conflict over lands and water. Now, when such kind of warfare was present at that time, the chiefs who had been successful in war, they used to distribute the loot, right? And they take prisoners of the defeated group as their servants and guards. They employed them as their guards and servants. Their prime duty was to construct temples and offer booty to their gods. Leaders encouraged the settlement of villages close to themselves, and this was because they could be able to rapidly get an army altogether. Now, when such thing happened, we see a change in the trend that leadership emerged. Although these leadership could not survive for a long period, but still a kind of um, social authority um, started developing and started leading the villages or the small community. Now here is an example of one of the important city of Mesopotamia, that is Uruk, and it was believed that it developed around 3000 BC. It grew to the extent of 250 hectares, which was actually the size of the city was quite large, approximately twice as large as size of Mohenjo-daro of Harappan civilization. The later years saw witnessed dozens of villages were deserted. There was a population shift from one region to another. Now, the reason probably they faced problems like, as we have discussed, the conflicts and the flooding of the river, the natural cause. These might be the reasons. Now, the Uruk was having a defensive wall, and war captives and the local people were engaged in temple building activities and directly to serve the rulers. And these were not taken just for granted, but they were paid also. They were paid rations. Now, this is evident from the fact that various ration lists have been found, mentioning the details of the person, and the quantity of the grain, cloth, or oil allotted to them. And it has been estimated that one of the temple took 1500 men working 10 hours a day, 5 years to build. So such a massive construction they used to do. Now, important thing that happened was the architects learned how to construct the brick columns, but there being no suitable wood to bear the weight of the roof of large halls. So hundreds of people were put to work at making and baking clay cones that could be pushed into temple walls, painted in different colors, creating a colorful mosaic. Mosaic is a kind of artwork. Usually, when we put various colored tiles and their pieces all together to form different shapes and figures, then this kind of work on walls, this kind of work is called mosaic. So this thing they used to do with the clay cones by coloring them in different colors and putting them on the walls to beautify their building. And another important thing that happened, a technological landmark of an appropriate, which can be said a landmark to an urban economy, was the potter's wheel. And these wheels enable the potter's workshop to mass produce dozens of similar pots at a time. So these were the achievements of the Mesopotamian people, and the development that were taking place in their cities. People started engaging themselves in different kind of occupations. They indulged themselves in different kind of craft work. Now, next thing, which is an important feature, another important thing of Mesopotamian civilization was the seal. No doubt you must have known about the Harappan seals, which are known for their beautiful motifs. The peculiar feature of the Mesopotamian seals was that it was no doubt it was done on the clay, and here is the picture which shows that the cylindrical stone seals were pierced down the center, were fitted with a stick and rolled over wet clay. First of all, they used to use a wet clay and a stone cylindrical seal having motifs in it, engraved motifs, and these um cylindrical seal was rolled over the wet clay so that their prints can be taken on the clay. They were carved by very skilled craftsmen and sometimes carry writing also. And the information about the owner or his god, his official position, these were the things that were mentioned in these seals. A seal could be rolled on clay covering the string knot of a cloth package or the mouth of a pot, keeping the contents safe. When rolled on a letter written on clay tablet, it became a landmark. It became a mark of authenticity. Means these prints were the mark of authentic authority. So the seal was the mark of a city dweller's role in public life. Means these seals gives an enormous information about the urban lifestyle of the people, because it were having the imprints showing the pictures or showing the glimpse of the Mesopotamian society. Not only the pictures, but it also were having the information about the owners, their position, their belief in particular god. So all such information can be derived or can be taken from these seals. So it gives an important information about the Mesopotamian society of that time. So till here we have discussed about the urbanization, how it appeared in the southern region of Mesopotamia, and we have discussed about the seals of this civilization. So please wait for the next video and make your notes. Hope you like this video. If you find any difficulty, please write it in the comment section. Please like, share and review and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.